Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back at the dealership because I would like to get a vehicle for single coil deliveries. Just as a bit of an experiment. I actually went to one of the nearby warehouses where we have vehicle spawners just to check out a few options here. And I think I'm going to go with Dory. I want something that's pretty wide in the back so that it's a bit more stable than other vehicles. For example, the Dabo next to it, yeah, likely would tip over a bit quicker. Also, I want the rear cargo bed to be as low as possible because once again, center of mass going to be helpful if the entire coil isn't mounted on a roof rack or something. So once again, the Dory is going pretty well there, and especially in comparison to the Dabo, which is just noticeably higher. So even if I go and lower the entire thing, which I am going to do, this thing is always going to be better in the end. Other options that I was considering was the Hana, which is the other older pickup truck currently available somewhere over here in the logging area, right on this little bit, I think. The tailgate doesn't open, so for loading it with the forklift, that's kind of a no-go. I think some other vehicles like the Kira van and the Boxy would not have a wide enough door to fit the coil through. I was considering the Vanny over here, which would be a pretty decent vehicle, but it's also one of those old asset pack vehicles, and while it's not the worst looking one, apart from maybe on the inside here, I'm not really feeling it. Might be pretty tough getting the coil in here, so yeah, not going to go with that. Voltex was another option, but that's once again pretty far up and also kind of narrow. And then there was also the Renchi, which, while it can open the tailgate, it's also another rough looking thing. So I think I just go with this one and will be happy with it, hopefully. What the Renchi had going for it was actually that it's all-wheel drive, so that could be something. Then again, rear-wheel drive means that once we load with 14-ton coil, all the power will be going to those wheels, and that might be helpful. It might not, but we'll see. At worst, I'm wasting a bit of money, and I think I can allow myself to do that. So yeah, let's see. We want to go with a large size radiator, just in case. Intake, we will likely need a bit more a bit more torque if we can get it. Now, do I want to go with the V12 right away? I could see myself upgrading to it, but maybe from the get-go, this might be the one for me, and let's just get another one just for possibly later. I think a stock turbo which engages quite a bit sooner might be better than the high-end one. Transmission, yeah, 5-speed should be okay. Final drive ratio is something we'll have to find out. Right now it's pretty short, giving me a decent amount of torque, but not that much top speed. Then again, top speed might not be the best idea here. Racing clutch in this truck by default, I mean, I'll take it. Okay, we need good brakes. That was a major problem the last time around, and I don't really think this is going to go my way either way, but we'll try. Problem is, there's a heavy brake bias on the front axle, and that's not where our mass is going to be once we are loaded. Okay, now everything else we are just going to buy a few parts and upgrade to the maximum. Alright, heavier dampers. And minimum ride height. We are really going to slam it to the ground. This is actually quite looking quite good on its own. Maybe I'll give it some pinstriping or that kind of thing. Really make it look um, like a lowrider. Which is then going to take a heavy coil because why not? Wheel spaces, I'm not really too concerned here, so let's just keep them somewhat in the wheel well right here. I think I can go a bit further out on the rear axle. Usually I should actually, and I shouldn't have gone for that on the front. I should really try and get the rims first and then go for the wheels, or for the wheel spacer, because that fitment might change. But I think 40 for the front should be okay. Did I do that correctly? Yeah, 40 and 60, that's nice. I don't think we need an angle kit, so I'm going to forgo that. Everything else. Tire doesn't really matter that much, I hope. But yeah, sure, we'll go for performance tires. Okay, now the wheels. I kinda want to go with something basic right now, and we might come back to this later. So let's go with something white like the Stinger wheels, and maybe if I really go for optical upgrades, we might come back to this at some point and change it over. Aerodynamics, we have a few front bumpers. I don't think we need this one for anything. So let's go for this one here. Also dark, a dark one on the rear. For this particular purpose, I mean, I'm going to take the sidewalls, even though they look like those things that you get in ice cream. I don't need a trailer hitch, I don't think. Front winch, potentially, and I'm not sure if 5000 will do it, at least not if we fall off a cliff. Oh, I didn't know we could get the inventory upgrade, but sure. I mean, you know what, let's have a quick look, I'm curious. I also recently upgraded my thingy-mid-link, my Dory Wrecker on my other character, so I might have to port that over. I actually made something like this. And honestly, I'm somewhat looking to inspiration with some of the stuff here. Oh yeah, this is something that we could use. I'm not really that creative anymore with liveries and all that stuff after all the stress recently, so yeah. Often I just look at what other people have built and then maybe try to take inspiration from it. Not completely copy it outright, but sometimes seeing some cool stuff other people have made gives me some ideas on my own. Yeah, I don't see anything right now that I would really like. Like the one thing on the hood was nice, but it was really only on the hood. Nothing for the full body. But yeah, again, I have something kind of similar going on here on my Dory Wrecker. Oh, this person, yeah, should have maybe turned off some of mirroring options or something. Like the opposite side or whatever that's called. Yeah, just keep it as is. Maybe quickly change the base paint and go from there. Maybe some slight yellowish off-white kind of deal. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Okay, let's see how well that is going to work out for us. I'm as curious as I'm afraid of it. Oh yeah, this thing doesn't really do much with its suspension anymore. That's pretty stiff. So let's see if we can load up a coil here. We could actually go down to Lijo Harbor, I hope. I don't want to go for the same delivery all the time. I mean, 40k might be worth a shot. Oh, you know what? No, I kind of want to check out the whole Dasa road a bit more in detail. So that hopefully went back into storage. It seems like that. So we'll go back to Dasa. I've seen a bit of feedback on the whole road, and people are a bit iffy on the plot holes, which is understandable. So I kind of want to check them out a bit more in depth, and I don't know if we can do it this episode, but I would kind of like to try to. Ah, does the forklift not go any lower than that? Okay, it doesn't. That's good to know. You know what, in hindsight, maybe I should have actually raised the back of the truck, just to compensate for what it's about to come there. Oh, does this even fit at all? It's... Oh. Okay, the tailgate being open is maybe a bit of a problem, because I cannot get any closer. And it doesn't exactly go in there. I thought this would be wide enough. Okay, let's try to push it up a bit further. But this is really not going where I wanted it to. Oh, it seems like the truck is slightly stuck to the coil that's wedged in there. Okay. Am I deep enough in the coil that I can just lift it up? Apparently not. Okay, I'm just trying to grab it once more and hopefully put it in a bit deeper. I mean deeper into the truck bed. I want the coil to be a bit more forward in the dory. Okay, thankfully that let go of it. So let's try to get in as far as I can. Maybe the voltage would have been a better idea, or the Vanny. But yeah, this isn't really conforming to my ideas about center of mass. It might also be scraping on the ground now. And yeah, for some reason the strapping makes it worse. Because now it's interacting, or it's now acting as if it was one vehicle. Or one, not vehicle, but just one item instead of two. I mean, say what you want, but this is working. And you know what? Everything that I got here is pretty cheap. Oh god. Oh god. That was not great. I could easily take out the items again and just put them into another truck, which might be better suited. But just knowing that the coil is basically the width of the vanny bed and the width of the dory bed, I mean, and maybe a tiny bit wider. Should be a good frame of reference for picking a better truck next time. So yeah, this is a new meme picture. Better truck next time. Yeah, come fix here. Did the stupid autopilot just do a full barrel roll? And did my tires immediately get damaged due to the overloading? I forgot that this was another thing that they added, so this might not be a good idea after all, because we are basically completely destroying our tires with this entire thing here. Like, immediately. And yeah, I'm going to lose the coil if I do this. Shouldn't they tell me what the tires are like right now? That's weird. I mean, I didn't make it that far, but let's get the rotator. I could try putting this back on its wheels using the forklift, but I think that thing is just too slow for that. I should also check the tires of the rotator at some point. And the trailer, they might be slowly running down as well. After the last trip. This is still looking okay, and maybe I should have just checked what the entry point tells me. You know what? Maybe they should have the info about total vehicle weight and everything at that point as well. Just like what they do at the harbors. And it's interesting to me that this time around it was the autopilot that failed. Not my fault for once. Skid mark over there, so we can't be too far off. I think I see it in the distance. Yeah, that seems to be it. You know what? I think instead of trying to get this done, let's just um, count our losses, bring back the coil, and maybe try again later with another vehicle. I think that might be the better idea. Crane out. We are crane professionals here. Of course it had to start raining after that pun. That's kinda owned at this point, I get it. And yeah, I think compared to the weight of the coil here, the vehicle itself doesn't really fall into the calculation all that much. And just like that, we are back on all four wheels. Oh yeah, I need to cut the cable. Maybe I should just let it dangle on the... just let it dangle on the crane and do it like that. Can I still get the cargo back if I despawn it like this? Let's deliver it back to the place where we got it from, and then it's hopefully going back into storage. Yeah, we're not really steering anymore. No. God, this is weird. I mean, this is definitely overloading it by quite a margin. What are the tires rated for? Like 700 kilogram, which is of course more than enough for a car, but might be slightly falling short by an order of magnitude for the coil being loaded. Yeah, I don't think there's a good truck for this. Whatever I pick, it will have those issues with the tire usage. So while being far less effective at what I was setting out to do, this has definitely still given me a good idea on what I'm dealing with here. So, kinda successful in its own right. Just sliding into the parking lot. Whoop, and immediately back up. Nice. And back to 13 coils. You know what, while here, let me just... Okay, it really doesn't tell me anymore. Interesting. I wanted to show you guys another track layout that I've been considering. Not really working on right now, but since we got this entire area, most of which is still completely unbuilt, so we just have a few roads here, but nothing really on there. I thought I could use this for a little track layout. The thing is, most of these are just two-lane roads with sharp turns, so it's not all that amazing. But I think I got something that's actually enjoyable. God, this is horrible to drive. So let me just show you guys. This would be the starting straight. We go to the right here. You know what, I need another car. This is undrivable. It's actually worse without the coil. So let's do something that's actually tuned. Yeah, why not? It's also not a long layout, so this won't take too long. Again, a lot of the corners would be the same, so I went for another short layout, like on the Dasa Harbor thing that I showed you guys the last time. So we start somewhere over here. Then go to the right here. Left turn, followed by another left turn. Followed by another left turn. Followed by actually a right-hand turn here. So this actually has a pretty decent flow. You just try to combine the corners into one. Another left turn over here, taking advantage of the paved inside. Then right-left chicane. Also going onto the wider road and yeah, completely spinning out here. I heard some complaints that maybe the handling right now is not where it should be. And yeah, turning another left. So the new update in particular had some problems where it might have to do with the mass changes and the overloading stuff. And yeah, this would be one entire lap here. That cars kinda don't really drive anymore the same way that they did before. And that comes from somebody who is far more knowledgeable on this stuff. But I would have to see what comes from that. And yeah, taking the end of the chicane over there right into the next turn. I think this might be more of a time attack layout, if anything. But this is overall a pretty decent track layout, I think. So I try to go for areas where there's multiple corners right after each other. Because these two-lane road 90-degree corners, they all feel the same and it's not amazing. But if you have something else to combine them with or just have a paved inside area, this is actually far more enjoyable due to that. Problem with the paved areas is also that, yeah, usually there are some walls around there, so once you get into those, you're kinda done for. There's no repair area in this place. But yeah, I think this is gonna be it for now. I actually went through quite a few other iterations of the same track. Starting with going around this area, and with some iterations I even went straight over here, but then it's really just a lot of 90-degree turns. But yeah, I think for the flow the shorter version works a bit better. I also tried going further in this direction, since there's a lot more of the same area, but once again, once you go onto any of this, it's just going to be a bunch of the same 90-degree turns. This is actually a nice little chicane still. But already maybe the roads are a bit too far away from each other to make for a good combination. And after that, even trying to get back to the wider areas, it's not amazing. Just a lot of the same, and I don't think making the track any longer would be helping that. And yeah, this is also why I didn't really go any further in this direction when it came to the update showcase. Basically, there isn't anything here. I should have maybe pointed that out explicitly, but overall, yeah, it just isn't really amazing. And I mean, obviously the purpose is something else. It's not made to be a racing complex. It's just something that we can use it as if we want to. And I very much intend on having some sort of track going through here. After all, it's another area where we usually don't see any traffic, apart from company vehicles. So yeah, eventually I'll have to map this out with checkpoints. Shouldn't be too bad. I've gotten quite good at it. Got to make it a bit faster and everything, so that's nice. Back in the day when the update with the event maker came out, it took so long getting a single simple layout fully edited, but now, since I got a better workflow going, tracks can actually be made quite a bit faster, so that's neat. Still a lot of work, but just getting a better idea on how to make it work. It just makes everything go a bit quicker and yeah, pretty good now. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, have a good one and bye bye.